You know, home invasion is one of my favorite sports. Just popping in, checking out the decor, potentially becoming homicidal over games and DVDs not being alphabetized, making sure the floors have been vacuumed recently. I just love judging people. And you know, in my time as an interior critic, I've come across more than a few game rooms, and for all of my fellow law-evading dudes, dudettes, and themettes, I thought I'd show everyone mine so that you can judge me without committing a crime. Yes, I know, I'm an absolute f***ing genius. This would be such an original concept in 1980.
Here is my shelf for all my modern games, and also some cheaply and miscellaneous DVDs and Blu-rays. As you can see, we got 360, Xbox One, Series X, PS3, 4, and 5, Wii U, Switch, and my DS and 3DS games in here. Starting at the top here, we've got the Xbox shelf. I order all of my games alphabetically, which I think makes it look really satisfying. Up here, I've got Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Series X games. Below that, also alphabetized, we've got the PlayStation shelf, which is organized in the exact same way as the Xbox shelf. Don't worry, it's not a murder scene, it's just my Switch collection. Yeah, this shelf is really red, but I'm pretty happy with what I've got on it. I'm definitely missing a few of the kind of more obscure or lower priority for me games, just because Switch games are a bit more expensive than everything else, but I am definitely going to be looking into getting more games for this amazing system in the coming years, especially when the prices start to drop. The Wii shelf is definitely the most packed one here. I'm missing a few of the more obscure picks for the system, like Sin and Punishment 2, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with the collection I've got. I also have a fairly small Wii U collection residing here. Down here I've got cubbies for all the DS and 3DS games that I have, as well as my eventual Vita collection and my Nintendo mini consoles. I've also got my handhelds displayed in these little cubbies just because I thought it looked kind of nice. Alright, look here, while we're on the topic of f***ing DS games, Rubik's World! This game... I gotta pick up this. This game... Storing games on a shelf is wonderful because you got these, right? You got these little headers and they all line up and they look all nice, right? This is Spirit Tracks, by the way. This is a normal, regular DS game. This is Nintendo published, bog standard, good stuff. Look at this shit. Look at this absolute menace to society. Look at how much bigger the thing on the spine is! That's like almost double the size! Dude! Do you know how bad this looks on your shelf? And it's the only one! It is the single DS game I have that does that! And thus I have to keep it in my collection, to remind me that however bad life is, it could still be worse. F*** Rubik's World for the Nintendo DS family of systems. Welcome to the Box of Shame. This is where I store peripherals and stuff that I just don't know where to put. We got a Wii Wheel. Everybody needs a Wii Wheel. Absolutely love that. There's a Ring Fit Adventure leg band in there. We got the Kinect. A Kinect? I absolutely hate this thing. The only game that I have that uses it is Star Wars Kinect. And, that sucks. So, yeah, the bin of shame is quite shameful. Oh, yeah, we also have this Wii Classic controller, but it's not an official one, so it feels like absolute hot garbage, especially the analog sticks. They make me want to die. Allegedly. And that is how you cover your ass. This is where most of my gaming happens. This is my entertainment center. As you can see, I've got some speakers around it, a subwoofer. I got a 5.1 surround setup, which I quite enjoy. Here you see a 4K Sony TV. I quite literally just got a new TV that has VRR down here. So That's why this one's different. It's a little bit of an older shot, but you know, I like having the progression of the game room documented in this video anyways, so I'm leaving it in just cuz.
And as we all know, that's code for I'm a lazy son of a bitch.
I also have this stand for it so that it can stand above the center speaker, and it gives the consoles just a little more room to exist. I've got my PS5 here. It's hooked up into this Denon AVR, which I've got everything hooked up into. The 360 and PS3, which usually aren't actually hooked up through HDMI. I just do that manually whenever I want to play them. They go into the AVR as well. And then over here, I have my Switch and Wii U, which are both also plugged into the AVR, as well as a Series X, which is up here. And of course, what game room tour would be complete without a behind the TV shot of... I really have to organize that better. Moving on to this wall over here, I've got some artwork from a Zelda calendar from a previous year posted up. I tried to organize them in a way that I thought looked kind of nice, and also a disaster area, a little poster thingy, which pretty aptly describes this basement. This is the couch that I sit on while I'm doing my gaming. As you can see, I like pillows and blankets. It's really comfy, made of leather, and we got it for free off of Facebook Marketplace, which is pretty nice. This is a side table, which I built myself. We got Link and his seal friend on top here. It's a nice place to store my controllers, remotes. I got a T-Rex coaster for whenever I'm drinking tea, because I do actually drink tea. On the top drawer, we've got my modern controllers. The one below that, I store my Joy-Cons, PS3 and 360 ones, Wii controllers on the one below that, all my GameCube stuff for like Smash and playing GameCube on the big screen, and also a Luigi and Mario USB controller in the bottom one. Over here we have the arcade cabinet, which I built with my dad. Yes, there are a couple of spots that weren't exactly painted right. That's because I painted this before I assembled it. It's got a Raspberry Pi 4 in it, which I've attached some arcade sticks to, and it's running Recalbox. As we pan down, you can see the Pi, the hard drive that I have stuff stored on, some miscellaneous boxes. My Game Boy collection is very sadly stored here, as well as my game cases, and yeah, my PS3 and 360 boxes. It's kind of a mess, and just a place that I use to store stuff that I don't have any other space for. This here is a shelf I built last year for a woodworking course, and it's got all of my retro games on it. As you can see, it's pretty packed, especially with stuff from my uncle, which I got last year on Boxing Day. So up here on the top shelf, we've got my GameCube collection, original Xbox stuff, and my PS2 games, as well as a copy of Kirby Superstar, and my very sad Sega CD collection, and my Saturn collection, which I'm starting up. On the shelf below, I have an Intellivision 2, because Intellivision 2, I played a game for this once. It was like a shitty Atari game. And beside the Intellivision 2, we have some SNES boxes that I have. I don't store the games in them, I usually just put them down with the collection, but they're a neat visual, though they are stored a little sadly. And then I have my Dreamcast, N64, and PlayStation collections. The PlayStation 1 is looking extremely sad, I know. At some point I gotta get some more games for it. Although I will say, it's pretty funny that they're all dual cases. On this shelf I've got this arcade stick just kind of for display, but for this I'll take it out of the way. This is my SNES collection, it's all alphabetized. It's a pretty good size for a SNES collection, definitely missing some of the RPGs and stuff, but it's really good. And I've also got some Genesis boxes on this shelf because they happen to fit the gap perfectly. Below that, I have a couple of boxed Game Boys, a Game Gear, my Genesis collection, which also is missing a few of the RPGs, and the first bit of my NES collection. And the last shelf here is full of NES stuff, my biggest collection thanks to my uncle. They look really nice all lined up like this, I think. I store my controllers and stuff in a rather unelegant way, that being these boxes. I put all the controllers in these Ziploc bags. Usually I put multiple in one, but for systems like the N64, I just have one controller per bag. I got a zapper in here, NES Advantage, power supplies. Basically any peripherally or cable-y kind of thing you can think of is in here. In this box here, I've got Genesis, PlayStation, Xbox, basically all the third-party stuff. And if we go into this box over here, it's my Atari Grave with just a ton of RF cables that I don't really need, but I keep around anyways because they might be useful in the apocalypse. And this box over here, I have just a bunch of hookup cables, some Nintendo cables, an Atari controller, which the stick falls off of a lot. It's horrible. I hate the 2600 controller. It sucks. But yeah, that's the collection of boxes. This right here is the corner of shame where I put shit that I don't know where to put anywhere else. Here I got my Gamecom collection, a Genesis 2 with a Sega CD hooked up, my Series X, original Xbox, and PS5 boxes, and some posters that I have neglected to hang up for way too long. There is also a case for a Ren and Stimpy game on the Genesis in there. This here's the retro game setup. As you can see, I got a Toshiba CRT. It's a flat screen, and I think it's 32 inches, so pretty big and really, really nice. Though I will say the front inputs and the component input on the back are kind of going, so this one might need a little bit of service in the near future. But for now, still works really well, and that's where I do all my retro gaming. I have all the consoles here lined up in chronological order, going from the NES on the bottom there to the GameCube on the top left. I think they look just fantastic lined up all like this, and I was really lucky that the entertainment center that I built with my dad fit them all pretty much perfectly. This is the couch I sit on while playing all my retro games at the CRT. As you can see, I've got some posters above it. These are all Pokemon pre-order bonus posters, which are pretty cool. This one from Legends Arceus is probably my second favorite to the Ultra Sun and Moon one. And then I have a bunch of boxes. I just decided to display them on the kind of ledge by the posters, but they sat on the couch there. And there's also a random RF box there, because why not? Do we really have to go in here? Seriously, it's pretty messy. We don't have to, but... Okay, fine, we'll go in, I guess, but I did warn you. This is the music room and also office. Over here we got a Roland keyboard, some saxophone cases. This is my mic stand, where a mic should be, and is now. As you can see, I got these two panels on either side of this kind of little cubby. This is just some soundproofing. They've got some rock wool in there, and it's held in by an old sheet. This is where I put my scripts on a music stand. That one is a script that I'd made for a video that I didn't release, so that's fun. This is an old drum kit. This is a new drum kit. I do all my drumming on this one now because it actually has nice sounds. Over here I got these headphones, which the pads came off of. That's really fun, but that's how I get the audio from the drums. And here's my desk, where my laptop usually sits, depending on if I'm not sitting on the couch. It's not there, as you can see, but hey, this is some miscellaneous junk. I have a lot of that on my desk. We got a nice coaster because I drink tea down here, and a mixing board. The drums go into the mixing board goes into the audio interface, and the mic also goes into the mixing board, which goes into the audio interface, which goes into my laptop, which isn't there. The audio interface is pretty awesome. We got it recently, and that's nice. It goes through USB into my PC, and that's how I get the mic audio and drum audio if I want to do a video. I also have a second monitor here, just cause. Here's my old capture card. It's a piece of shit from Amazon. I got a new one because that one broke. That's some Christmas treats. And this is my game comm. Incredibly important, but yeah, this is the setup that you see in all the videos. It's on this desk here, and with all the desks combined, it basically makes a little L shape. This is a broken Game Genie that I have. I have to reassemble it every single video. Like, I'm not joking. Whenever I make a video, I have to reassemble it. There's also an R2-D2 Bop It, which is awesome. Bop it, twist it, pull it. That's awesome. It doesn't have a battery in it right now, which is really sad, but also kind of good because I guarantee you I would be using this all the time if I got bored. But yeah, also there's a copy of LA Rush in the N64.
The game room is a really fun concept with so much potential and a whole lot of shelving. It can be a different thing to different people, and the fact that a lot of us have this similar thing, but we all do it in different ways, I think really lends to a sense of community within the gaming sphere. That and hissy fits over discs being in binders. For good reason. Can you even be classified as a human if you do this? From the selection of games, to the layout, to what systems they have, to the decor, a game room can reflect the person behind it in a lot of really unique ways. And yes, I know that mine says I have absolutely no sense of style. Even I'm not safe from my own judgment. And neither are you. Get a fucking haircut. Go.